Welcome in to the Bro 4 Squad podcast, where we're just a bunch of bros drinking beer and talking movies. This is episode 259, and it's the 9th first annual Broscars, demonetized due to copyright claims. I'm one of your hosts tonight, the Mayor Jeff Hornacek, and if you don't know, this is the movie award show for bros, unlike the Oscars, which can go fuck itself.
And I'm one of your co-hosts tonight, the mad scientist, Brian Banner. I appreciate everyone turning out after my little incident last year.
Incident? Is that what you'd call it?
Like, I'm just saying, nobody should be able to bring a hot dog in there.
To be honest, I kind of thought it was genius. You jump in the sauna, you cook your lunch at the same time. But anyway, I'm one of your other fellow hosts tonight, the American hero, Nate Thurmond.
Well, as you guys know, when my membership at 24 Hour Fitness got canceled, so did all my interest in male saunas. Speaking of turning up the heat, let's send it down to the red carpet. On the scene, to our reporter doing the Lord's work as he does every year, our enforcer in the paint, Matt Geiger. Matt, how's it looking pre-show down there?
Hey, boys, as you can see, not there quite yet, Skyping in. I know everyone's excited to have me back, but I regret to inform you that I will not be doing the Broscars this year. It's no secret. We're all getting older. Load management on Geiger's old joints is a must, and we're also tanking so we can hopefully get a young, hopefully black podcast host this spring, just to take us into the next generation of the Bro 4 Squad. But don't worry. I got AI to cover me. So they just shuffled a bunch of celebrities and people of our past to take my backstage things from me. So I can just, relax, Anthony Davis it for a while, load management. So I'm going to kick it off to AI and back to you all.
Always a pleasure, Matt. Before we get started tonight, I also need to introduce our legal counsel, Ronnie Cycli, who is now legally obligated to sit next to me to make sure my pants do, in fact, stay on.
Yeah, when I went to law school, I didn't think I'd have to do that, and then I watched Suits, and it seemed all fancy. I don't think those guys ever kept pants on in that show.
Well, maybe we got a better shot if you would have tried harder at your Suits audition.
Damn.
All right, let's send it down to our presenter of the Holy Shit That Really Happened award, Sir Ian McClellan.
As a small child growing up on the streets of England, I used to document my days in a journal, describing my impoverished life and the struggle of having to suck the toes of the wealthy just to earn enough for a single crumpet. That tale seems to pale in comparison to the incredible stories told in documentary filmmaking this year. Also, I absolutely do not apologize for the visual I've created of me sucking toes. Here are the nominees for the Holy Shit That Really Happened award for the best documentary film of the year, read by an AI-generated sex robot.
And the nominees are American Murder, Gabby Petito, Not Just a Goof, The Comeback, the Kim Kardashian the 2004 Boston Red Sox, Unknown Number, The High School Catfish, A Deadly American Marriage, and an American Murder in the same category. I gotta get out of this country. And the winner is The Comeback, 2004 Boston Red Sox.
Wow, Yankees fans will not be happy, guys. The Boston Red Sox 2004 comeback from a 3-0 deficit to the dreaded New York Yankees documentary wins. I know my brother-in-law is rolling over in his grave right now, although he's alive and doesn't listen to the podcast. What do you guys think of this doc winning? I personally thought The High School Catfish might win, but our fans who voted said otherwise.
Yeah, I'll jump in. I agree with you. The Unknown Number, The High School Catfish, that one was a roller coaster. That's one of probably my favorite documentaries in the past couple years. Second to that was the American Murder, Gabby Petito, but just the absurdity of some of the people that were involved in the High School Catfish story was amazing, and how it happened like such a small, like tight-knit town was really interesting. It wasn't like in a big city or something that like blew up in this small town and just caught fire. It was a wild ride.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know that I would have voted for the Boston Red Sox one. I think partly because like I knew that story. I lived that story. I watched that playoffs. Whereas these other stories, I didn't follow in the news as closely when they actually happened. The Gabby Tino as well, them recreating her voice, that doesn't get you in the feelies. You're not a person.
Yeah, I echo what Banner said because we very much, our generation lived that game. I remember where I was, like during that comeback that week for the Red Sox, and I'm wondering if like a lot of the generation that maybe the newer generation that voted, like they didn't, they're maybe 20 years old now, they didn't really remember it or they didn't really experience it. And also, I felt like that documentary didn't tell us anything new either that we didn't know.
Yeah.
So, I think that's why I think we're coming down on it a little bit. It was, if I came in blind, I might feel differently. But yeah, agreed with everything else said by everyone else. I'm not sure how the high school catfish still fucks with me. Just thinking about it makes no sense. It was wild.
Yeah, the twist in that is nuts. All right, let's send it backstage or down to the red carpet or wherever Matt is, if he even is there, if the AI is now taking over. Geiger, what's going on?
Hey, Broforce Squad, remember me? I'm that drunk girl you hooked up with once in college. My God, I can't find my fucking phone. Oh, it's in my purse. Hey, Banner, thanks for buying me that Plan B pill back in 2010, you dick. Hey, Jeff, you still married to your wife? That whore. Oh my God, she's my best friend. We used to play Disney princesses together. Don't worry, boys. I won't tell your wives that you secretly think about me and stalk me on Facebook when they say they just aren't in the mood tonight. Oh my God, there's Michael B. Jordan. I'm going to take this lemon drop and let him spit down my throat and have sex with them. Back to you guys.
Sounds like you're having a hell of a night back there, Matt.
Sounds like there may be a few gin and waters floating around back there. Banner, did you already get yours?
I'm offended that you even had to ask. Who do we have up next, Nate?
Well, I'm surprised you're still offended by me. So let's send it down to Bane and Tim Curry, who are presenting the Drink Every Time Something Blows Up award.
Tom Cruise, animated Korean women, Bob Odenkirk, and Anna de Armas.
Let's see the list of all the people who have a restraining order against Banner or Horn search history on Pornhub. They're also all part of the nominees for the Drink Every Time Something Blows Up award for the best action movie of the year. And here's our sexy robot voice to introduce them.
And the nominees are K-pop Demon Hunters, Nobody 2, Predator Badlands, and if they lose, they'll be Predator's Sadlands. Ballerina from the world of John Wick. Predator, Killer of Killers, but who will kill the Killer of Killers? And the winner is Predator Badlands, and now they're Predator Gladlands.
I just say, guys, the AI voice just really did not like the fact that this movie got nominated, I guess, for some reason. But pretty,
really seemed like it.
yeah, pretty slim year this year for blockbuster movies. I liked Nobody 2, and K-pop Demon Hunters has some banger songs, but it's probably one of the weakest categories of the year. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree, and I think that the fact that you have 2 Predator movies on this list, that just goes to show how weak of a year it is. Not that I didn't enjoy both of them thoroughly. There should be better movies out there this year.
I'll refrain from commenting. I didn't see any of these. Well, actually, I saw half of K-pop Demon Hunters with Banner and
At
his
my
brother
house.
one time.
Did you stop it by choice, or you were just like,
I don't know. We ended up doing something else or got distracted. So I'll leave it to you guys to analyze these.
I think if you had told me a year ago, I had high hopes for Ballerina from the world of John Wick. I think that was the one that was supposed to, probably take this list. So that's a little surprising. It didn't probably hold up as well as it should, considering the rest of the John Wicks. But yeah, weak year for action.
Yeah, and I'm the action head on the pod, but none of these really move the needle for me. All right, Geiger, what is the status of things backstage? It's usually time stuff is starting to get turned up.
Hello, Broforce Squad. This is your fearless leader, Donald J. Trump. And I just want to say this is the worst podcast, maybe in the history of podcasts ever. It's very sad. You got a guy that never shows up like Kamala at the border. You have another guy that sips wine and maybe trans. Another one who claims to be a lawyer but never answered one single email back about stopping the steal. Another one who claims to be an American hero and doesn't own a MAGA hat. The only one I like is that big, hairy, monstrous bastard, Brian Banner. I like to say Banner because it kind of sounds like China. He may have the most body hair in the history of body hair, which is just fantastic. The rest of you can go to hell. Back to you, Jeff.
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, I love a good horror movie.
What a segue.
Yeah, that's great.
Go again, Banner.
Thanks, Matt. You know, I love a good horror movie.
Hold on. Did you say horror or whore? Either way, I'm on board.
Yeah, horror. You know, the ones with the tits and the blood.
I'm still kind of confused, but also kind of horny now.
I don't understand the problem.
No, it's not a problem. Never mind. We'll take this offline. Well, up next is the I watched half of it with my eyes closed award. Let's send it down to the king himself, Elvis Presley, to present.
Yeah, thank you very much. Great crowd tonight. Such a great crowd. You know, a little bit of an actor myself, and know a little thing about cinema. You know, one of my favorite horror movies is that genre, horror movies. And I know, you know, kind of make you shit yourself. Now I'm gonna go fuck this beautiful robot here to present the I wish. No, I didn't wish anything. I watched. I gotta start over. It fell off the wheels.
The whole thing. You almost had it. Did he though?
Fell off the wheels. Did it at least sound like Elvis?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's nothing wrong.
Yeah, thank you very much. Great crowd tonight. Great crowd. Now you all know I'm a actor myself, so I know a little bit about cinema. And one of my favorite genres is the horror movies. You know, the kind that make you want to shit yourself. Now I'm gonna go fuck this beautiful robot here that's about to present. Yeah, I watched half of it with my eyes closed. Award.
And the nominees are The Strangers, Chapter Too Fast, Too Furious, Heart Eyes, Pumpkinhead, Final Destination, Bloodlines, and I Know What You Did Last Summer. Well, yeah, because you post everything on Instagram. And the winner is Final Destination, Bloodlines.
All right, guys. People have spoken. We got a lot of like sequels in this one this year, and I think Cycle and I can both agree. Final Destination Bloodlines was pretty solid, and then the last 45 seconds of it really fucking stuck the landing. So even though there were some solid entries here, I was a huge fan of Heart Eyes. I think the fans got this one right. Anyone who has seen any of these movies, what do you guys think?
Yes, the go ahead, Banner.
I was just gonna say I agree. I think they got this right. I think Strangers 2, I didn't even realize that it even came out.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, Strangers 3 just came out, and no one
No one knows.
Yeah, big problem. Bloodlines, solid Final Destination movie. I'm a big fan of the franchise. I agree. The last, not even 45 seconds, the last 15 seconds put it over the top. Might be a top 5 Final Destination movie because of that.
Is it that's a thing? Because there's like 9 of.
Yeah, there's enough to have a top 5.
Cycle, your thoughts?
Yeah, no, as the horror head on the pod, I think this was always going to be a tough category considering 2024 was such a big year in horror. And, you know, it was hard to follow that up. And so, yeah, we had a lot of sequels. Like Hard Eyes was pretty original. But I think Final Destination Bloodlines paid the most respect to its franchise while still feeling fresh, right? Like, I Know What You Did Last Summer was fun, seeing some of the, you know, former stars in it, but it didn't it either felt like a little too repetitive or just too, ongoing. And Hard Eyes was fun, great little slasher movie. Strangers, I don't know, they're breaking my heart with what they're doing with that franchise. So yeah, I think this deserved to win.
Perfect. All right. Well, whoever has taken Matt's microphone, what is the status of things down there at the Broscars backstage?
You were just listening to AI high as fuck Ronnie Cycli during the Back to Future movie commentary. ... Back to you, Jeff.
Did we actually have to delete that? Because you
I
were so
believe
high.
so.
Yeah.
I just didn't say anything.
You got to give Matt credit. He's really done his research here. That was like
That was good.
9 years ago.
That was good. Okay.
I just remember watching the movie. I didn't know we were doing a podcast.
Brian's been there.
This could also be Brian Banner during the Dark Knight movie commentary.
Where he did like the pat my chest. That's on me. Mark
That's on
Sanchez.
Hand up. Hand up.
Sorry, Nate.
No, we're good. Little banter in between. All right, here we go. As always, Matt's mid-awards interviews never disappoint. This new AI is taking it to the next level. Banner, I hate that I have to ask each year, but how's the pants situation going?
Well, I haven't peed on him yet, so I mean, we're about at the halfway point, so I think I should get some credit for that.
Okay, well, if that isn't pee on your pants, then what is it?
It's not chocolate milk. Speaking of chocolate milk, great drink to have for a blockbuster, wouldn't you say? Here to Better Not Suck Since I Had Waited in Line award for Best Blockbuster, Christopher Walken and Sir Michael Caine.
Oh boy, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, wow. What a year for cinema. Explosions, passion, sequels, with more sequels. It's beautiful, really. And now, before I start dancing for no particular reason whatsoever, here's Mr. My Cocaine.
Thank you, Chris. I'll take the baton and run with it. This time of the show, you know I'm full Shelley blankers deep, and my bowels are about to explode into my elderly diaper like the set pieces and performances of these movies nominated for the This Better Not Suck Since I Waited in Line for award for the Best Blockbuster Movie of the Year. Take it away, C-3PO, but way more horny.
And the nominees are Predator Badlands. This movie again? Mission Impossible. Final Reckoning. How many reckonings were there? Thunderbolts. Fantastic Four. First Steps. First Steps? That is fantastic. And F1. F them all. And the winner is Mission Impossible. Final Reckoning.
All right, well, hopefully this is the bid adieu to Tom Cruise. You guys know I love this franchise, but at this point we're milking blood out of a stone. And I like this movie, but I think just based on my theater-going experience, I might have given my vote to F1. Nate, you and I actually saw that in theaters in D-Box. What are your thoughts on how this category played out? Maybe a going-away award for the Mission Impossible franchise as opposed to giving F1 the crown?
Yeah, I'm not shocked. I mean, even if I don't think it's the best one, I kind of felt like this might play out this way with Mission Impossible getting it. But yeah, F1, and being an F1 fan, I don't know if I'm more biased, but hearing you go into the movie without it much like watching the race experience and all that, still hyping it up and loving it, kind of supports me. But I mean, Brad Pitt put so much work into this movie. It's a passion project of his. It's been like 2 or 3 years in the making, and it really showed. It was great. They had Lewis Hamilton, one of the racers, as like a consult the whole time. The cars were legit. So yeah, F1 really stands out above them all just for what it did for the sport and how like involved in the making of it Brad Pitt was. I mean, it was, like I said, a huge passion project for him, and it really turned out great.
Banner, I feel like this is kind of your category every year, and I know you saw most of these films. How do you feel about Mission Impossible?
Yeah, I think the only knock on the Mission Impossible Final Reckoning is this has been the final Mission Impossible for about 6 movies now.
We
And
swear.
yeah, promise. We've only made that joke 3 Broscars in a row. With that being said, I think that your theater experience goes into this. Notice that neither one of the Marvel movies, I think, have even got a thought. While they were both very good, they did not bring Marvel back to the blockbuster status that it had for so many years. Not a strong year, but not a weak year either. I think either Mission Impossible or F1 deserved this. So fans got it right.
Cycly, did you see any of these, and do you have any thoughts?
I have lots of thoughts, but I did not see any of these.
Interesting combination. All right, Geiger or whoever has taken your microphone, how are we holding up backstage?
Yo, Broforce Squad. It's the Easter Bunny. And no, AI didn't screw up my voice. This is just how I talk because I'm from Brooklyn. Actually, just so you know, most of your mythical characters grew up in my same neighborhood. Like Jesus from Nazarene is actually J Money from Queens. And the manger is what we called his apartment on the 16th floor where we all go and get high. J Money, or Jesus as you know him, grew up with me. We played stickball down on Bleecker Street. And then we would take the 8 train to the Bronx to go watch the Yanks. The Yanks! Back then, there was no launch angle or analytics. It was only Jeter and the movie actress he'd fuck after the game. Anyway, AI wanted to address the rumors of the old Easter Bunny being on the Epstein list. Well, I just got one question for you. Where the fuck do you think all these eggs come from? Every kid gets about 20 to 30 eggs in the backyard every fucking spring. You think I really have time to listen to the girl at work that everyone hates from the skank at the bar to literally create millions of eggs every fucking spring? It's supply and demand, motherfuckers. It's your parents' fault. Back to you, Jeff.
It might be the most creative one you've ever had. Where do you come up? That's like you. I hope you woke up at 3 a.m. and were like, I have to write this down. It's a fever dream. Sorry, Brian.
You're fine. I needed a minute anyway. That was some gold.
Back then, there was no launch angle or I'm not editing this out, by the way.
Well, thanks, Mr. Bunny. Appreciate that. Always a joy. Hey, Nate, knock, knock.
I don't want to, but who's there?
You are. Nope. Are you?
One more time.
Hey, Nate, knock, knock.
I don't really want to, but who's there?
Are you?
Are you who?
Are you fucking joking? Because that's the next award we're giving out tonight.
Interesting way to get there, but yeah, the next award will be going to the best comedy of the year. Here to present are Matthew McConaughey and Liam Neeson.
All right. Just isn't good enough in comedy these days. Can't joke about anything. Fat chicks, short people, white guys' dick sizes. It's a shame. These comedy movies in 2005 found a way to somehow still make us laugh.
You know who else could use a laugh, Matthew? Fucking Marco from Trapoya, who's so goddamn serious while he's abducting my daughter. Crack a smile, Marco. Being tortured by me is fun. Now here's our trash compactor with a voice to tell us the nominees for the Are You Fucking Joking for the best comedy movie of the year.
And the nominees are The Naked Gun, Friendship, Something Horns Has Never Experienced, Eternity, How Long This Award Show Is Taking, Happy Gilmore 2, and Anaconda, The Sir Mix-a-Lot Story. And the winner is The Naked Gun.
Guys, this is the award that I feel like the past 3 to 5 years we've always said is the weakest, but I kind of feel like comedy had a nice rebound this year. I know we debated whether Friendship actually was a comedy because it kind of made us feel many different things, but Naked Gun was awesome. And then Geiger, if you want, I know you can briefly chime in from backstage, but as you and Nate, the big golf heads here, did you get to see Happy Gilmore 2, and what were your thoughts on its nomination?
I could let Nate go for. I mean, mine was I liked it. There were some parts that actually made me laugh, which is surprisingly. I don't think you all watch wrestling as much as I do, but MJF, who was his son, was absolutely hilarious. Actually, all of his sons were very well casted.
They were really well cast, yeah.
On the third act, it got a little bit too out of control for me.
Yeah.
Like, at Happy Gilmore, the first one, the very last putt was insane, but it actually kind of tied into the story. This was too like, oh, let's get the kids it was too NBA. How can we get the kids to like it for me? But other than that, I enjoyed it.
Did you like the John Daly story arc?
Yeah, I love the John Daly. Like, there was a bunch of ways that he incorporated real golfers, which he actually did in the first Happy Gilmore. If you go back and watch, like Fuzzy Zeller's in it.
Trevino,
I think Tom Kite maybe, but there's a couple of them, but he really incorporated them really well. And yeah, I enjoyed it, but I mean, I could have just done without making it for sure.
For sure. But as far as like Happy Madison movies go on Netflix, I think it definitely could have been a lot worse, and it wasn't. Nate, what do you think?
No, I completely agree. Like, the third act kind of loses me as ridiculous and like over the top the golf game gets, with all the obstacles and all that shit. So, but other than that, like, yeah, it was great. They just leaned into everything. They leaned into the cameos. They leaned into the references to the original Happy Gilmore, which was great. You either have to go one way or another. Like, just have a few in there, or just go full bore, which they did, and it was awesome. And
it was funny seeing Haley Joel Osment in it too.
Yeah, he was a random appearance that kind of worked out. But it was fun that they kind of made fun of the whole live PGA thing, and had both players in the movie working together, but kind of had that new league that came in, and then they were pitted against it. But no, it was a fun movie. I enjoyed it. Yeah, just the third act kind of got over the top.
I think for Christmas, I'm gonna get all of you guys matching hats for us that say regular golf.
Love it.
On it.
I will wear that and go play regular golf.
Cycly, I believe you and I were huge fans of The Naked Gun, right? Or am I misremembering?
Yes, absolutely.
So how you must be happy as I am that it won here, because even though it was utterly ridiculous, I was fucking cracking up pretty much every scene when I watched it.
It definitely deserved it, and they didn't push it. It was a really short run time, first of all. So they took advantage of every minute they had, and it didn't feel like, okay, like sometimes that humor really has a limit, and they place it perfectly. So it was really refreshing to see that kind of movie that like people would act like, oh, we can't make those movies anymore. Like, yes, you can, and they do well. And yeah, it was a good year for comedy. I think the bar has been really low lately.
Yes.
So like really anything with a couple movies that made us laugh is a good thing. And just to double down on friendship, just really ridiculous concept that was like, at first when I saw the trailer, I thought it was going to be like an I love you man, right, kind of thing, or variation of it. Tim Robinson might be the hottest name in comedy right now with so many different projects going on. But man, this movie had a way of, at the end of it, I was like, I don't know if I laughed more or was like sad and anxious more from the film. So very interesting film to have on here.
Yeah. Banner, how about you?
I think they got it right. I think that while all these were solid, Naked Gun was by far the funniest.
Definitely. All right, we are basically in like the last quarter here. Geiger, how are things holding up backstage, or have you been accosted and now someone else has your microphone?
Hi, Bro Force Squad. This is Sexy Robot Voice, who announces the nominees for the Broscars ex-husband. I wanted to take this time to set the record straight on my bitch of an ex-wife. First off, I didn't get with my secretary until after the divorce papers were served. And despite what she is telling you, I am there for my children on weekends, but she only tells me the right location half the time. So currently, I'm living in a shitty apartment in Queens. Some people call it the manger. And I coach my kids' soccer team on weekends, so my ex's new boyfriend from Spain can question my coaching style. What the fuck is a corner kick anyway? USA. Back to you.
I love the connected universe of presenters.
A lot of webs.
You're violating the restraining order by being here.
USA.
USA. That was nice. Okay. Matt, we're going to need a urine sample from you after this show. I know your AI has filled in for most of this, but you've got to be doping somehow.
Yeah. Got a question for you. Where'd you get the drugs?
I don't think that's what the people were thinking, but is that right?
You do
you
you.
messed up.
That's good.
It just doesn't seem like I don't know. I guess I wrote this. I don't know. It doesn't flow well.
I'm not
Anyway,
editing this because this is what people want,
This is who we really are.
I don't think that's what the people were thinking, but you do you. For our next award, we're going to throw it over to Emperor Palpatine.
While stationed on a fully operational Death Star, I had a lot of free time. Nothing compares to the anger I feel when I finish a show I was binging and loving. The following nominees for the I watched the whole show in a day and I Need Help award for the best TV show and are almost as interesting as the tale of Darth Plagueis the Wise. Tell us who they are, Robot Apprentice.
And the nominees are Paradise, All Her Fault, or what my ex-husband says is why we got divorced. The White Lotus Season 3. Andor Season 2. And Black Mirror Season 7. And the winner is The White Lotus Season 3.
All right, this was a close one, guys. This is usually a strong category every year. I actually loved all these shows. I am a massive White Lotus fan, as I know several others on the pod are. Although this season for me was good, but not the best season of the show. Nate, I know you got me turned on to Paradise, and we're big Paradise heads. How do you feel about the way this played out?
Yeah, I mean, White Lotus has such a big following at this point. I get it. And I think I'm in the same boat with you. Like, season 3 was good. I don't think it was my favorite. But yeah, if only my vote counted, it would probably be Paradise. I think it may have been one of my favorite shows last year, and I'm super excited about the next season, and where they left it off. But yeah, Paradise is great. I love how the season played out, revealing little bits and pieces. Especially the big reveal at the end of episode 1 was great. That set up for the whole rest of the season. But yeah, my vote would have been Paradise.
Banner, I think we had a conversation about Andor at some point this year and really liked it. What are your thoughts on how this one ended up going to White Lotus?
Yeah, I think White Lotus having 3 really good seasons kind of helped this along a little bit because you have some other fantastic TV to compare it to. Andor season 2, I think you don't even need to watch the first season. You can literally just call this Andor that came out this year. Fantastic, really, really great story from the Star Wars universe. And again, Paradise. I think Paradise season 2 is where this show is going to win its awards. I don't think the first season was the award winner. That was the table setter. And in coming seasons, we're going to get some good stuff out of that show.
For sure. Cycly, you and I feel like Black Mirror came out very beginning of the year, and it was still strong enough to stay on this list. But again, another strong year for television. Are you pleased with the way this ended up with White Lotus?
Yeah, it was odd because White Lotus season 3 was definitely not my favorite of the White Lotus seasons, but White Lotus still did what White Lotus does, which makes it such entertaining TV. I will say Black Mirror season 7 we had taken a couple years off since Black Mirror, and it was probably something that needed to happen, that like they needed a refresh. And it was definitely one of the better Black Mirror seasons in a while. So it was really nice to kind of get those episodes back and kind of feel like the dystopian near future. And just kind of, they had just dropped the ball a little bit in the past. So Black Mirror was definitely up there for me. And Andor season 2, I felt like really could have won this award too.
It was a strong year. All right, Geiger, we only have 2 awards left. Are you still conscious? What is the status back there?
Ho, 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 ho. Broforce Squad, this is Santa backstage at the Broscars. Let me start with the elephant in the room. Yes, I was mentioned several times on the Epstein list. If you remember back in the mid-aughts, the housing market crash, and old Saint Nick felt it pretty hard. Of course, I have my reindeer ranch toy factory up in the North Pole, but I also have some houses in Boca and Tucson with an Airbnb in Pensacola. Well, since St. Nick was strapped for cash at the time, old Jeffrey E. helped me out with some finances and also helped me relieve some pressure as well. Let me ask you all a question. On Christmas morning, would you want a brand new, tightly wrapped, young, pure box with a great toy in it, or an old beaten down box with looks like a baseball glove that a sledgehammer hit about 10 million times? I thought so. That's all old Chris Kringle did, is got a new box. Read between the lines, you idiots. Young kids on laps, ho, ho, ho's. It's been right in front of you this whole time. Anyway, I'm backstage here with all my friends. I'll throw it back to you, Jeff.
This next award is one of my favorites.
Are you in the right spot?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yep.
you are. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was so shook by St. Nick's
Yeah.
revelation.
That was
Continue, my
Shocking.
apologies.
the amount of shit movies you watch is kind of astounding. Unrelated, did you watch that short film I made and sent you the other day?
The one with your toes and the banana?
Yes, thank you. I hope you like my Toes character arc. And now for I fucked that up. Yes, thank you. Hope you like my Toes character arc. And now for the movie So Bad Brian Hated It award for the worst movie of the past year. We turn it over to the classic duo of Helen Keller and Vin Diesel to present. Take it away, Helen.
Very well said, Helen. Now let's turn it over to our iPod Shuffle with a voice to read the nominees for the movie So Bad Even Brian Hated It award. Helen, what are you doing after the show?
And the nominees are Until Dawn. Okay, and then what happens? Megan 2.0. Mom? Snow White. The War of the Worlds. This movie made me wish I was deaf, dumb, and blind. Helen Keller, you lucky bitch. And Five Nights at Freddy's 2. And the winner is War of the Worlds.
All right, guys, this was one, I think after we saw it, we said everyone else is just playing for second place. If you haven't seen the movie, we need to do a movie commentary soon, but I mean, I'm almost at a loss for words. I kind of want to save my thoughts for the commentary, but anyone else out there who has somehow trudged through this piece of shit, thoughts on this winning? I mean, it was destined to win this award the second it was created, I feel like.
This would also win the award for best Amazon commercial this year, because that's essentially what it was.
It's weird when you cast Ice Cube, you don't think you have a piece of shit on your hands, but we all get
This movie
surprised.
is 89 minutes, which when I first saw, I was like, okay, I can make it through this. It is impressive how much shit and bullshit they pushed into this 89 minutes. And I really am impressed with this. Genuinely might be the worst movie of all time when you take into account production value, actors in it, right? Like there's worse movies out there. There's worse producers, horrible, but when you take in everything into account, it really does not disappoint if you want a movie that really sucks. I'm just impressed with how terrible it was. The internet did not lie about this movie.
Banner, I know you saw it.
Yeah, it was awful, god awful. I'm someone that I will watch a movie to the end. It took me 2.5 settings to get through this.
It's a long 89 minutes. Nate, have you...
You feel every moment of it.
Yes.
Nate, have you tortured yourself and watched this yet?
No. No,
There's some
not at all.
twists in it that will make you go, "What?" Like, no
I do
way.
have a question for Banner. How do you have half a session of watching something?
I was standing
Hmm.
instead of sitting.
Okay.
That's half.
All right, we have one more award left. Geiger, are you still alive? Who has taken over the mic backstage?
Hey, Bro Force Squad, it's your favorite GM in sports, Nico Harrison. And yes, I whisper when I talk because I want y'all to listen. And also, I don't want you to understand all the stupid shit I'm about to say. Anyway, I'd like to announce the first trade in the Bro Force Squad history of podcast. I traded away Matt Geiger, since he's never here, for Alex English, someone I feel can really contribute to the pod. Expect him on your next podcast next week. He'll be about 30 minutes late. Back to you, Jeff. And remember, defense wins championships.
It's not untrue.
Be careful back there, Matt. Nate, we've made it. This is the last award of the year. How you holding up?
Not gonna lie, I'm not the young man I used to be. Gonna need a pick me up to make it through Geiger's after party.
Oh, I got something for you. But let's introduce our last presenter to the Broforce Squad Best Movie Award, Master Yoda. Last is best, but is best last? Is best always the winner? Movies are good sometimes. And I always love the droid that talks so sexy. But listen, please, to the sexy voice for nominees for the Best Picture Award.
And the nominees are Frankenstein. Actually, it's Frankenstein's monster. Sinners. Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery. One Battle After Another, the story of Horns and his homeowners association. And Roofman, the Fiddler on the Roof origin story. And the winner is One Battle After Another.
All right, guys. Leo DiCaprio takes home the Bros Best Picture Award. I have to ask, although one is good, Us, and the other blows monkey dick, the Oscars, is this the first time ever that there is a chance that the Best Picture Award might be the same at both the award shows? What do we think?
I'm gonna lean yes. I think it's gonna happen.
It's got to be higher odds than not.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the strongest year for Best Picture, and I just feel one Battle After Another is the only one that really it's kind of low hanging fruit this year.
Agreed.
I'm shocked Frankenstein's on this list, not because it wasn't good. I really liked it. I just cannot believe how much I liked it and how well made it was. Who else here saw it? Nate, did you watch it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it was really good. Disturbing
good.
parts, but
It was
yeah,
long.
solid. Yeah.
A little long.
Nate, I know I also spoke to you about Roofman. It's probably last on this list of 5, but if you had to say odds in Vegas to even make the nominees, I think it kind of punched above its weight here, and I'm proud of it.
Yes. I think after I watched this per your recommendation, I remember texting you it had no right being as good as it was, just the story it was. But no, it had a lot of depth to it for a movie called Roofman about a guy living in a Toys R Us. It was really solid. But I think the right one won this year. One Bad After Another. That was probably my favorite of the year. Sinners was up there as well. But yeah, One Bad After Another was great. The cinematography was great. The way it was shot. Sean Penn was weird as shit in it. DiCaprio was great. He acted his ass off. And then I don't know his daughter's name in the film, but she was great. I hope to see her in a lot more things going forward.
Del Toro, scene stealer.
Del Toro was funny. Yeah. He was funny.
Cycly, I know you and I were sucking the dick of Sinners all year, but I think when One Battle After Another came out, it was just too good to ignore, right?
I think that's the thing. Sinners was great for what it was, but I never was going to sit there and act like that's the best movie I've ever seen or best movie of the year. Sinners was a fantastic period piece, well acted, really fantastic vampire story. But I think it was peak for that genre and performances. And honestly, left wanting more out of the characters. But yeah, that's a compliment. It didn't need to be more than that. It doesn't need to be one West movie. I don't know that it necessarily deserved, what is it, like, to set the record for like 17 Oscar nominations, but like it is a great movie. I'm glad it's getting recognized. Frankenstein was fantastic. Another, like, I kind of hope we get more of these. We got the not Dracula, Nosferatu. We're kind of getting these remakes of old classics in like the proper form. And Frankenstein, was really, I love getting another year of that kind of genre. But yeah, one battle after another. Just, I think I said this last year on the preview pod, we're getting a Paul Thomas Anderson movie with Sean Penn and Leonardo DiCaprio. It's like, on name alone, like, this is going to be tough to beat. And yeah, I agree. Del Toro was by far the scene stealer. The second third of the movie was just my favorite part. Paul Thomas Anderson still has it as a movie teller. Yeah, I'm not shocked at this one, and will not be surprised if this is taking home the Oscar.
Yep. Banner, any thoughts on Best Picture?
No, I mean, I think that this is an interesting variety of movies.
Yeah, I mean, 2 horror movies nominated. That's kind of interesting, for sure.
Right, yeah. I mean, you got 2 horror movies. You've got a comedy in Wake Up. At least I thought it was a comedy. Maybe it's a dramedy in Wake Up Dead Man. But Frankenstein, straight drama. So, it's interesting spread this year. But again, I think that history may be made in one battle after another. It's going to take a Broscar and an Oscar, which one will go in the trash and one will be displayed proudly on the mantle.
Yeah, pretty obvious which one. All right, before we put a bow on this bitch, the 9th first annual Broscars, Geiger, backstage, take us home.
Hey guys, Matt Geiger, the real Matt Geiger. I decided to get on a plane and come. I couldn't miss the Broscars. It's the best time of year. Hopefully AI worked in my spot while I was gone. They said they're still working out some kinks, but as long as it doesn't come off as overtly racist or mention the Epstein list in any way, it's working just fine. So hopefully it did well. At the backstage party, literally no one's here. Everyone's got picked up by ICE other than me, so since I was late. But if you guys want to come back, we got a bunch of beer and food and appetizers, and we can start the party. The only person here is me and Sydney Sweeney because we're both white. So it's pretty cool if you want to come on back.
Thanks, Matt. We'll meet you at the after party. But before we go, any last thoughts on our winners and losers tonight?
Man, I watched The Comeback. I'm probably on my 3rd time watching it, and it just took me back memory lane when baseball actually had stories in it. It just seems like, I hate to be memberberry guy. One battle after another, I really enjoyed Sinners. The Rip was probably one of the most
That's next year,
movies.
so it'll be, it's already nominated. Don't worry.
Yeah, I saw. And then probably my favorite theater experience all year was me and my wife went to The Housemaid. I was very happy with the way that turned out. I loved all the actors in it, but the twists and stuff and the turns, I was just like, damn, this it was the first theater experience I felt that way since Get Out, where I'm just like, wow, I went in here thinking something. I'm not saying it's as good as Get Out, but I went in here thinking something, and when I left, I'm like, wow, that was not what I expected at all, but I'm happy about it.
I got to check that out. Matt, real quick, in The Comeback, how funny is the scene where Kevin Millar is talking and he doesn't remember what he said about Nomar? And he's like, oh, is that what I said? Yeah. And he's like, oh, shit, my bad.
The big thing is when I took back, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I did remember when A-Rod was actually a Red Sox.
I know.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if Manny was leaving or something, but I remember it wasn't MLB The Show then. I can't remember what the game was called. It was PlayStation 989 Sports Baseball, whatever that was. But I remember trading A-Rod to
MVP,
the Red Sox.
Right?
Yeah, MVP baseball. Trading A-Rod to the Red Sox and be like, dude, he's just going to hit off the fucking green monster the whole time. He's going to be fun. And it was only like a week, and then they're like, oh, this isn't fair. So they send him to the Yankees. Like, baseball just sucks. Like,
as a Rangers fan, that trade would have been so much better because we would have got Manny and John Lester instead of Joaquin Arias. So that fucking imagine, like, because we didn't have any pitching back then. Imagine John Lester on those Rangers teams. Cycly, your thoughts on the Broscars overall, or just legally? Like, how much trouble are we in after this?
Legally, we're not in any more trouble than we always are in, so that's good. But that's also really bad for us. But hey, we're used to it now. Overall, 2025, not the strongest year overall, I think, on movies. A lot of solid films out there, but just I don't think in the grand scheme of things, and we look back on the decade, that movies are going to be standing out here from this year. So it'll be interesting to see where it ends up. Hopefully we have a good big year coming up with 2026. But even with a weak year in movies, man, the Broscars really brought it. So it doesn't really matter what Hollywood's doing. Broscars knows what's up.
Who even is Hollywood anymore? We're the show in town.
I think it's Tim.
Nate, your thoughts?
Yeah, I kind of echo what Cycle was saying. Like 2025 wasn't the strongest year, especially coming off to 2024. And I know you guys are the big horror guys, Horns and Cycly. But just pointing to like 2024, like I saw 3 of the top like horror films, like Heretic.
I love that movie.
I'm blanking on the Demi Moore one. Substance.
Yeah.
And I think there was another one I watched too that year that were great, and I really enjoyed. Dipping my toe into like that genre a little bit more. But yeah, just overall, it was kind of a weaker year. And I think we kind of got that with the Best Picture award too. How it was kind of mixed. You didn't get those stereotypical, all of them looking like one battle off another, huge names, huge director, and things like that. But it's fun to have that sometimes, so it mixes it up, and maybe you can get a dark horse or an outlier taking the category. So it was a fun year, just wasn't the strongest.
Yeah, and like we said, I love Roofman, but there are years where this wouldn't even sniff the nominees for Bros Best Picture. Banner, last thoughts on the night?
Yeah, I think the best way that I would sum up the movies of this year is not a lot of rewatchability. Bringing it back to one of our categories is all good movies. I don't know that I would go back and be like, man, I really want to watch that again because it was so good or so funny or the action was that awesome. It was just this is a solid year, and let's think about last year more and look forward to next year.
26 is off to a good start with The Rip, The Housemaid, and Cycly. We'll have to talk off pod, but I watched Primate, and fuck, I loved it.
I've heard really good things.
Yeah, so we're off to a good start. All right, and Geiger didn't get arrested, which, again, I don't know if the cops are just not paying attention or he's just really fucking, like, evasive, but good for him.
Well, I think the Easter Bunny, Santa, and some other people did, so someone did get arrested.
There's only so much room in the vans they have down there. That's the old college party theme. Like, when the cops come, they can't arrest us all. All right, thank you guys for listening. You can follow us on Twitter at Bro4Squad. Actually, just type in at Bro4Squad everywhere. You'll find us. And then if you want to type it in on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio as 3 separate words, Bro, Force, Squad. You'll find us there. Also, go to our website, bro4squad.com, where we post everything. Now, we need to make sure that Banner doesn't get in a fight with the bouncer at the after party. Even though we technically hired the bouncer, we've had issues with this in the past.
I'm just saying, he shouldn't have brought that fucking hot dog last year.
Ryan Banner.
Banner.